All right, welcome to the review, end of the quarter, catch up. Make sure that you are on the correct page so that if your page says adding and subtracting, you should be watching this video. If your page says multiplying and dividing, you're watching that video, okay? So this page is just going to be adding and subtracting. It does not count as your quiz grade. This is your review, and then you'll find the Canvas quiz and then do the Canvas quiz on your own, okay? So this is just like a little notes, a little review going back over, okay? All right, so let's summarize that our adding rules are same signs add, and different signs subtract. And then for subtraction, you're just going to add the opposite. But we'll get to that when we get to that. So first, 5 plus negative 3. 5 is positive, 3 is negative. Those are different signs, so I'm going to subtract. Okay, so 5 minus 3 is 2. So the number part of my answer is 2. And then I look at which has more. There's 5 positives or 3 negatives. The positives have more, so my answer is positive 2. Next one, negative 3 plus negative 2. They're both negative, so they have the same signs. So I'm going to add them. 3 plus 2 is 5. And they're both negative, so my answer is negative. Negative 4 plus negative 7. They're both negative, so they have the same signs, which means I'm going to add. 4 plus 7 is 11. They're both negative, so my answer stays negative. Okay. Right. Negative 4 plus 1. 4 is negative, 1 is positive. Those are different signs, so I'm going to subtract. 4 minus 1 is 3. There's 4 negatives and 1 positive. There's more negative numbers, so my answer is going to be negative. So negative 3. All right, 2 plus negative 8. One's positive, the other's negative. Those are different, so I'm going to subtract the bigger number minus the smaller number. 8 minus 6 is 2. Sorry, I don't know. Okay, 8 minus 2 is 6. There we go. So I have my number portion, and then I look. There's 2 positives and 8 negatives. So there's more negatives, which means that my answer will be negative. Let's go through subtraction. So for subtraction, we want to rewrite it as addition by adding the opposite. So 1 minus 2. Whatever I'm subtracting, I'm going to add the opposite. So instead of subtracting, I add. The opposite of 2 is negative 2. And then I can use my addition rules because it's in addition form. That's the whole point. Okay? 1 is positive and 2 is negative. Those are different signs, so I'm going to subtract. The bigger number 2 minus 1 is 1. And then I look at which has more, the positives or the negatives. There's 1 positive and 2 negatives. There's more negatives, so my answer is going to be negative. So So -1. So again, we're going to rewrite this as addition so that we can use our addition rules. So everything I'm subtracting, instead, I'm going to add the opposite. So this -3 is going to stay the same. Instead of subtracting, I add. The opposite of 1 is -1. So I've rewritten it, and it's now -3 plus -1. So I go back to my addition rules. They're both negative, so they're the same sign, which means I'm going to add them together. 3 plus 1 is 4. And they're both negative, so my answer is going to stay negative. 2 minus 6. Let's rewrite it. So 2 is going to stay the same. And everything that I'm subtracting, I add the opposite. So subtraction changes to addition. The opposite of +6 is -6. 2 is positive, 6 is negative. Those are different signs, so I'm going to subtract. 6 minus 2 is 4. There's 2 positives and 6 negatives. The negatives have a lot more, so my answer is going to be negative. All right, so same thing. We're going to rewrite it as addition. 1 minus -3. So 1 stays the same. Subtraction changes to addition. And then the opposite of -3 is +3. So now our problem is just 1 plus 3, which is 4. Okay. Right. Now this one has so many minuses, oh my goodness. Let's rewrite it as addition. Hopefully that makes it easier. So -5 stays the same. Subtraction changes to addition. The opposite of -5 is +5. -5 plus 5. That's a number 5 and its opposite, -5, added together, which always equals 0. Okay. So remember, you're going to rewrite subtraction as addition. If they're the same signs, you just add the numbers together. If they're different signs, you subtract them, and then you keep the sign of whichever has more. If the positives have more, it's going to be positive. If the negatives have more, it's going to be negative. So go ahead, take a second, look over it, and then you have a Canvas quiz to help you catch up on this topic.